Hello there. Happy May 1st of 2025. And this is episode 115 of Life, Liberty, and Hines with me, Brian Hines, your host. I'm glad you could make it, and we're going to get right on to topics because I got a full page of them again. I'm going to start with some local stuff. I normally don't talk about local stuff because, who out there in Texas or Florida wants to hear about Pennsylvania news? But local stuff is important. So we have a local election going on. And here in Pennsylvania, that is. And whatever you're registered as, voting registered as, you might want to change it or keep it the same. But if you're going to change it, like I had to change mine. I was registered as a independent because I'm really not too sure about calling myself Republican anymore because they ain't very conservative these days. But anyway, I had to switch and just got my new voter registration card today, actually. And I am Republican because that's how you vote in primaries around here. Different states have different voting rules. And here in Pennsylvania, if you are not the party that is in the primary, then you don't vote. Like, I was independent last year, and I didn't vote in any primaries. But now, I'm good. And that's because my vote counts. Just like your vote counts. Our votes count. And if you don't go vote, then you know what? It's not counted. So, like I said, here in Pennsylvania, you have to have your voter registration. If you're not registered at all, then get your voter registration by May 5th. That's only 4 days away. Because May 20th, we need to vote. And not telling you who to vote for, but as far as the common pleas court, we have Kelly Lombardo and Alex Merrick on the ballot, along with a few other candidates. But Lombardo and Merrick, they are classifying themselves as Republican. They're judges. They're not supposed to be Democrat or Republican, like AOC says all the time. They're supposed to be constitutional, which on the most part is more Republican than Democrat, because Democrats are always trying to tear the Constitution up. So, if you're here in Pennsylvania, it's a good idea to go vote on May 20th. But in order to do that, make sure your voter registration is correct by May 5th. And there's a lot of smaller courts running as well. We have the magistrates, we call them. And there's a lot of them signs out there. I talked to a few of the candidates, and some of them are just a little more angry than others. Yeah. But one of the local candidates is name's Don Johnson. And he's the husband to our representative Tara Probst, which she on Instagram, I mean not Instagram, on Facebook. I don't have Facebook. Got banned. So on Representative Tara Probst's Facebook page, I find her the whole stairwell and it looks like a snake behind her. Which snakes are like Satan worshiping and stuff like that. Then Democrats, they don't have a problem showing you their evil. But if that picture's still there, be nice if you just go check it out and be like, huh, it definitely looks like some Satan worshipping snake stuff. Guaranteed. But yeah, anyway, let's hear Don Johnson that's running for the local. I believe he had misinformed when he was on a local podcast. And he was talking about he had support from a local sitting judge by the name of Christine and Zine. Well, a sitting judge isn't really supposed to hide. But, you know, the more local it gets, the more nasty it can get. People know each other a little more. It's local. But let's hope Anzini isn't really supporting a candidate because I believe it has something to do with ethics or something. But you know, and also a little more local is township supervisor. Another primary battle going on. And one case is isn't it? And candidate is a business owner. Knows how to deal with lots of people, lots of money. But it's a local battle that's right here in the township, you know? You can't keep your eye on it. But you can't keep your eye on it if you're not going to the local uh, Republican meetings. Everybody needs to get involved. We need to see what's going on. I've been going now. Probably getting pretty close to a year. And we need to make sure these people that think they know that are running stuff, make sure they know they're not really running anything. Yeah, because rhinos, they're in your local government just as much as they're in Washington, D.C. We know that the Pope had passed a couple weeks ago now. But maybe just a week ago. A week and a half, something like that. It's back there. Doesn't matter. He passed. It's old news. But what isn't old news is check this out. Trump mentioned picking the next Pope. Well, I think that sounds a great idea because the last couple popes seem to have been pretty bad people. Popes. And whoever's been picking those, they fired. Who better than to pick the next Pope? What kind of rules is there to picking a Pope? So maybe Trump can pick the next Pope. What do you think about that? But anyway, uh, Pakistani I'm oh yeah, check this out. There's a Pakistani Ayman, yeah, over in Italy. He said quote, every Muslim should fight the infidels, blah, 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 unquote. He lived in Italy for 30 years and was a permanent resident. But after that evil, ignorant comment, no. Prime Minister uh, Maloney, she requested his deportation. So, Muslim hanging out in Italy for 30 some years finally gets caught for saying this evil, everything but Muslim rhetoric. I bet you that wasn't the first time he said it. He didn't just wake up that day and start to be an evil person and come out saying every Muslim should fight the infidels, which infidels is anybody that isn't Muslim, like Christians and anybody that isn't Muslim. So, and I'm like one of the religious people out there promoting violence in Italy. Luckily, somebody recorded that and they got busted. And hopefully that their Pakistani Ayman, I didn't write the name down, but who cares? Hopefully he's already back in Pakistan. Or they're hauling him back and he like jumped out of a plane without a parachute. Somewhere in between. Deportation. That's awesome. And we'll move on to America First Legal files a complaint against the New York Attorney General Letitia James. Well, I didn't write down what it's for because what it's for really doesn't matter. Letitia James has committed so many crimes that she should be in jail or Gitmo, which is a little better than jail. It works differently, if you know what I mean. Might talk about it here in a little bit. But anyway, this here private company, America First Legal, they should not have to file a complaint against somebody that commits this many crimes. Because the government should have already started something and or already had her in prison. Like I said, in Gitmo or something. But being the system protects itself, this here independent private company had to go out there and file a complaint against a criminal that is committing crimes for the state. Now, this complaint that's been filed, there could be a problem because everything gets done in front of a judge. Now, America First Legal, they end up getting their day in court with Letitia James, and they go in front of somebody like Boasberg. How do you think Boasberg is going to decide a case? No matter what anybody says, he can be like, oh, well, yeah, I find guilt here, but the best sentence would be no sentence at all. Because that's what these courts are doing these days. They put innocent people like Jake Sixers in jail, while they let people like Letitia James and Nancy Pelosi, because she like does that insider trading stuff. Everybody knows it. But no, there ain't no law enforcement out there arresting her for it. I don't know. It feels like every day is getting a little better because it was like 100 days, you know? Trump's first 100 days. And the things they say and some of the things that are done, like there was uh, 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 a judge that was arrested, possibly two or three of them. But that's good. But one judge or two judges or three judges getting arrested isn't 100 judges getting arrested. So, is it better? Is talking about the price of gas coming down, but the price of gas not coming down? I mean, I think they found chickens after 5 minutes. Chicken. First time, it's been pretty smelly. It's been the last 4 years. I think it's good because for the last 4 years, we didn't see the price of car battery. In 2021. Anyway, hmm. Wait, uh, is anybody going to arrest Letitia James, whether there's a complaint filed or not? Um, Next thing is General Flynn. This dude's on fire. I think I talked about him last week or the week before. But anyway, he's on fire. And I reposted it on True Social. You can follow me on True Social. Brian Hines 919. Yeah. But or Instagram or Getter. But I spend most of my time on True Social. And I reposted a video of General Flynn. He explains why October 7th was set up. Was a setup. We'll put it that way. October 7th. You remember October 7th? That was the day that Israel got attacked by Hamas or whatever. Pakistanis or something. Well, there's already been a bunch of evidence out there. Of course, fake news ain't talking about it. But there's a bunch of evidence out there. It looks like collusion between Netanyahu and the Israeli government / military. Their lack of security at that particular time, it was like 7 hours or something. The security had lapsed at the border, and that's when the invasion happened. It just looks too much like it was set up by the government. Just like our invasion. We had a 4-year invasion of illegal immigrants. And if they couldn't invade quick enough, Creepy Joe was flying them in on passenger airplanes and stuff. But General Flynn, pretty good explanation of what had happened there on October 7th. Worth looking at. And then today I just recently, General Flynn might take over Mike Waltz's position. That could be good because Mike Waltz, he pretty much gets raised going over to his new position in the Trump administration. And General Flynn might have a good spot to jump into. He needs a good spot in Trump administration. And we'll move on to, I didn't get the state, but local government and law enforcement are harassing this store in Huntley. And the store is called the Trump and Truth Store. Apparently, this store people are putting merchandise out on the sidewalk like everybody else does. But they have a problem with this particular place putting stuff out on the sidewalk. The Trump and Truth Store in Huntley. Harassing small business. That is totally a liberal way of business. So we're going to hope that the Trump and Truth Store doesn't have to go in front of a liberal judge to try to defend themselves from this corrupt local government. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. FBI arrested liberal judge who harbored criminal. A lot of these judges harboring it's like pretty serious. But a lot of these judges, they when ICE finds out there's an illegal immigrant in custody somewhere, they contact the authorities and tell them, hey, you hold them and we're going to come get them. And then whoever got the message ends up going back, and the judge ends up like recusing an order or mitigating a sentence. A judge will do all kinds of crazy stuff to get that criminal, illegal immigrant out of jail before ICE shows up. You know what that means? It means ICE is too far away. I think we need more ICE. But anyway, for that particular liberal judge, send him to get more. Because that's harboring an illegal immigrant to go out and cause more harm to an American. I mean, that's total treason. You know, there's only one place to take people for treason. 81 judges have been turned over to the DOJ for interfering in the executive branch's job. Yeah, like President Trump. Yeah, his job. 81 judges have been purposefully trying to interfere with the MAGA movement, with America First. So, their names have been turned over to the DOJ, and we can, don't hold your breath, waiting on them to do something about this. We move on to Clinton-appointed District Judge Cotelli has blocked Trump's order proof of citizenship. Blocked the order. The Trump has an executive order. Good one. Good one. Check this out. It's for you need to have proof of citizenship to vote, not proof of driver's license. No. Proof of citizenship to vote. That's a great idea. But no, we got this District Judge Cotelli blocking that stuff. So I'm hoping that this Cotelli is one of the names out of those 81 names. If not, add another one to the list. California, I don't know if they passed it or not. It's so ridiculous. They got to pass laws to protect people that are breaking laws. Yeah, but I did not misstate that. They want to pass, or probably already passed, a law where if you steal less than $25,000, cheat the government, the taxpayers out of less than $25,000 on welfare, you won't be prosecuted. Not anything. So you can steal $24,999 and then change your name or whatever and do it all over again. They got to pass a law so you don't get in trouble for breaking the law. Only California. And we got to the whole bottom of the list. Check this out. Jeffrey Epstein victim by the name of Virginia Giuffre has taken her own life. And she had frequently stated that she is not suicidal. She has no reason to want to kill